Well, it looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. That's right, today we are reviewing the run-and-gun arcade action romp Iron Meat from Retroware. But is this meat well done, or does it leave us with food poisoning? Well, let's find out in our full review. You know what else is rare? Coverage of the best indie games to hit the scene. Be sure to like and subscribe so that we can continue to be the #1 destination for your indie gaming needs. Or head over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames to gain Discord access, early ad-free shows, shoutouts at the end of every video we produce, and so much more. We also have live streams Tuesdays and Thursdays at twitch.tv/idreamofindiegames that can also be viewed here. Your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Iron Meat is a game that knows what it wants to be. A bloody tribute to many of the great run-and-gun franchises of the past, with the most obvious influence being the Contra series. While Contra is often the first game that comes to mind, the indie scene has given us other wonderful gems such as Cuphead and Super Cyborg in more recent times. Well, now we can add Iron Meat to the list. In Iron Meat, your goal is simple: to blast your way through 8 different levels, well, 9 if you include the final area, fighting a nasty scientific experiment known as the Meat, along with many other disgusting creatures that stand in your way. You'll go from forests to a train, and eventually the moon in hopes of putting an end to the chaos once and for all. Iron Meat features 3 difficulty levels to choose between: easy, normal, and hard. Easy is a good starting point for getting used to level layouts. Normal feels like a bit of a step up with more aggressive enemies and less lives, but is still fairly manageable. And of course, hard puts up one hell of a fight and you'll have far less lives than either of the other modes. On top of that, bosses will really ramp things up. Basically, the difficulties are as advertised. You can play Iron Meat either solo or with one other friend locally. Personally, I found the game much more difficult in 2-player mode, as it becomes easier to lose sight of your characters, and with the game having quite a few platforming sections, you can imagine how well that goes. Even still, I'm glad the option exists, and it's a fun way to play despite being a bit more frustrating and challenging. The game is very simple to play. You run, you jump, and you shoot while toggling between 2 different weapons. The goal is to advance forward while mowing down enemies, avoiding all of their attacks and the other traps and obstacles that get in your way. Get to the end of a level and you'll be greeted by a boss which features multiple phases. The bosses are quite creative and enjoyable to take down. Much like Contra, weapon upgrades will be shot down as they fly across the screen during certain sections of gameplay, and they range from lasers to plasma in the shape of crescent moons and a standard machine gun. I'd argue Iron Meat could have used a bit more weapon variety, but that's a rather small nitpick. The mechanics feel quite good, with the game being just as responsive as one would hope. The jumping is sound when you do need to platform, and the aiming also works pretty well. You will be on foot for just about every level, so I do wish the game featured a few different level types, maybe some flying or some tanks, something that could have broke things up a little bit more. Despite this, the action feels great and the level designs themselves are fun and challenging depending on the difficulty you select. Players will also be scored at the end of each run, and as you rank up, expect to unlock more skins. In total, there are over 30 skins, and they can even be customized a bit. While it's merely cosmetic, I like that I was able to at least work towards unlocking something new. The visuals in Iron Meat are great, more of a 16-bit pixel art style used here. It gives off the vibe of a gritty Genesis game at times, and even has a retro filter that can be used. Creature designs are hellish, and the entire experience is a bloody one. Hell, it will even be raining blood during certain levels, so expect plenty of violence with this one if that wasn't already obvious. While the overall vibe is a dark one, the art team had a clear vision and brought it to life effectively. I greatly enjoyed the look, which is accompanied by a metal soundtrack. The songs are good, if not a bit generic. There's plenty of chugging guitars accompanied by keyboard synths, which work well enough with the theme of the game. Factoring everything, Iron Meat is a great little run-and-gun shooter that fans of the genre will love. While it is on the short side, which is par for the course for an arcade run-and-gun shooter, there is replayability in trying to master the hard difficulty and unlocking all the skins. It plays very well, I didn't have any performance issues, it has an awesome visual style, and sounds good so long as you enjoy metal music. I'm gonna award Iron Meat the Silver Genie Lamp of approval.